Oh my gosh. Okay, I think I got it. Yeah. Okay. I think I got it. Okay. Girl, okay, so I was playing a music, a song, okay, and I'll put the song in the comments because this is like one of the two theme songs that I actually picked for this lunation. But nonetheless, let me get back into it, okay? So for those who are coming in, acknowledge yourselves. Thank you for being here, cuz, as always. And we're going to get into this really heavy, juicy full moon. We're going to talk about what this full moon is asking from us, the Sabian symbol for this full moon and what that means, the numerology for the day, okay, and or the day of the full moon and the degree. In the major aspects that this full moon will be making and the messages that these planets will be asking of us as a result. We're going to talk about who's mostly affected by this full moon, how to work with this energy, guidance and suggestions. You know, you are, take your, whatever you feel you need to, should you decide to, okay? We're going to also talk about how this is going to impact all of the rising signs. Now, I'm looking at this from a predictive whole sign system, okay? But every person has their own particular natal chart. So look at the degrees. If you need guidance, I'm here to assist you. But your main three, sun, moon, rising, if you know that, you may resonate with this, okay? But I'm coming from it from a rising sign perspective. We're also going to do a final closing as far as a reflection and affirmation. And then we'll be done, okay? So for those who are coming in, we'll be coming in after. We're going to get into this. My name is Malik from Malik's Mystical Magic and Intuitive Consultations. I'll be your astrologer tonight, okay? I won't get too much into tarot, but there is some significant linkage toward tarot, so I'll bring up a card in particular to discuss. Before we get too deep, I wanted to let you know while I was cleaning the energy and getting myself prepared to provide the message. This is the candle that I have going for us at this moment. Okay, this is a blue candle. Of course, this is clarity. This is a Gemini's color that you want to use. So this is air, okay? And I got it's got a colored little holders. But this is a mind magic stick that basically, as we speak, we are manifesting, okay? So I'm going to put that in motion for us now. Okay, so with that said, to reach me, for those who need to reach me, I am on all platforms, okay? I have Instagram, I have YouTube, I have Facebook, TikTok, okay? I think that's it. But nonetheless, Malik's Mystical Magic, you can find me there. In addition, I am looking for 8 more beautiful souls as subscribers, okay? Yeah, that flame is flaming, baby, okay? And so I am looking for 8 more subscribers to YouTube so that I can move this over to YouTube and go live and run my business, okay? Now, I got my grand dog in the back. Y'all bear with me. But nonetheless, let's get into this. And I'll have everything time-stamped, uploaded to YouTube once I'm done here, okay? So anyway, come on in, y'all. Those who come in, say hello. Okay, I'm glad you're here with me tonight. We're getting ready to walk through this full moon in Gemini, okay? That is really occurring on the 4th of December around 7:35 p.m., and I want to say Eastern time, okay? So check and see your time zone where you are to see if it's 6 or 7. But around that time, the moon will be at 13 degrees. That's when you know it's exact, okay? Now, this particular full moon is going to be bringing some clarity, some conversations, some faded energy that you may already be feeling, you know, in your mind, your spirit, and or your relationships. I know I've heard a lot of people say they feel something is coming. And Uranus is connected to this, okay? The nose of fate is connected to this, so definitely there is something coming, okay? So let's go ahead and see what this full moon is asking from us, okay? The Sabian symbol for this degree of Gemini, okay, and what it really means. And that, I think, is what's important, because this full moon in Gemini is asking us to clear our minds and face the truth. Not the version that we hoped for, okay? Not the version that we imagined, but the version that's actually here. Now, Gemini energy is about information, communication, and understanding. And at 13 degrees, this moon is bringing a truth, a realization, a conversation, a mental breakthrough, or a shift in perspective, okay? And that's going to help something finally make sense, okay? Now, the moon, full moon in Gemini, wants us to really connect the dots, see both sides of a situation, release the mental clutter, accept clarity when it arrives, stop replaying old narratives, and speak honestly with ourselves and others, okay? The reason I say that is because this full moon is opposite the sun, okay, at 13 degrees. The sun sits across the same axis, Sagittarius. The sun is at 13 degrees Sagittarius. It's Sagittarius season. The full moon is opposite of that in Gemini. So it's very important that we understand it's opposite the sun. And that is asking us to balance the fact and the truth. Okay. Then we have the moon, full moon that is. Hey, Koala baby. I need to talk to you. And I told you this 2, 4, 5 times ago, okay? You need to get at me, sis, okay? Anyway, I'm happy to see you here. Now, nonetheless, the moon, full moon will also be squaring, okay, the nodes of fate. Now, let me go ahead and get into this before we get too deep, because I don't want to get caught up in this, okay, too much. I posted in the comment section of the notification that I will be going live today. I posted a copy of the current chart of the full moon day in the comment section, as well as the house wheel, to give you an idea of the themes. Okay, so when I tell you Scorpio, sun, moon, rising, this is playing out in your 4th house, you have that indicator in the comment section to follow what type of themes are playing out. So I'll be giving you those indicators. So use these as references. But for now, let's talk about this full moon. Okay, this full moon is right here. Okay, this is Gemini. This is the moon right here. Okay, now the moon is opposite that yellow line. It's opposite the sun. The sun is in Sagittarius. Okay, so we got that going on, the opposition. Okay, then we have the full moon squaring the nodes of fate. So here is the north node. Okay, and here is the south node down here. South node is in Virgo. North node is in Pisces. And there is the north node. Okay, north node. So the moon is squaring north node, squaring south node. The moon is opposing the sun. Okay. In addition, the moon is Gemini. Gemini's ruler is Mercury. Mercury is in Scorpio, okay? And Mercury in Scorpio. So with the moon squaring the nodes of fate, that's going to bring some fated conversations or some decisions. It's fated. It's out of our control, okay? Mercury rules not only Virgo, but Gemini as well. And where is Mercury? Mercury is in Scorpio, okay? So Scorpio is right here, right here. And there is Mercury right now in Scorpio. Okay. So Scorpio Mercury right now is pushing hidden information to the surface still. Okay. So, you know, we had that powerful new moon in Scorpio. It ain't done. It could play out 6 months. So still things are coming up from the surface. So this is all tied to a Mercury-Uranus opposition as well, delivering sudden insight or unexpected communication. So we got to be really, really open-minded, because when Uranus is impacted, there is an unexpected sudden revelation, realization, a shock, something significant. Because when Uranus is involved, which is a ruler of Aquarius, when that is impacted, expect the unexpected, okay? So this is tied to a Mercury-Uranus opposition. Let me show you. So we have Mercury right here. Okay, I even have it. Let me get my ghetto-ness together, y'all. Sorry about that. We have Mercury right here. This is Mercury right here, okay? Across from Mercury is Uranus. Boom, in Taurus, Uranus, okay? So we have that going on at the same time. In addition, this is all supported by another grand trine, multiple grand trines that we've had over the late, which is why we've experienced a lot of water-related, earth-related issues. But this is going to give that intuitive confirmation and that emotional clarity. So when we talk about a grand water trine, we have the Mercury in Scorpio, okay? Mercury is in Scorpio. We have Jupiter in Cancer. So you see that red square, that grand trine, that red grand trine. So Mercury is connecting to Neptune and Saturn in Aries. Pisces, okay? And then we have that connecting to Jupiter in Cancer. So all Cancers, all Scorpios, and all Pisces. I know y'all feeling it, okay? We all feeling it. So that's the grand trine there. So those are all of the aspects that this full moon is making. Interesting as heck. So this is a moon of revelation, not confusion at all. And the message here really is about seeing it clearly, saying it clearly, and letting the truth move you, okay? Now, the Sabian symbol that this moon is coming in at 13 degrees, opposing the sun at 13 degrees, that means basically 13 degrees of Gemini as a Sabian symbol is two people living apart in telepathic communication, okay? And I'll tell you, as a reader, as an astrologer, this is what I do every day. I am dealing with people from all over the world. And a lot of people are having a lot of psychic, telepathic things between their partners, their friends, things of that nature. So a lot of weird stuff going on to them, paranormal. We're seeing numbers, signs, synchronicity. So we need to be paying attention, okay? Curious, like the Gemini is. Okay, so let's get into this even further. The full moon sits on the 14th Sabian symbol of Gemini, because we always go up when we are in a Sabian symbol degree, trying to find that Sabian symbol. So we had 14 degrees Sabian symbol of Gemini, which is one of the most psychic and synchronistic symbols in the entire zodiac, okay? And in addition to that, the image is really about two people in different places, still connected through thought, intuition, emotion, and energy, okay? And here's what this means in simple language, because I know everyone doesn't really follow astrology, and sometimes I can throw some people off when I talk about it, especially my family. So this means that you may feel strongly, even if you aren't speaking, okay? You may receive signs, dreams, or intuitive hits connected to a specific person. You may have a silent or unspoken understanding that becomes louder. You may have some energetic cords, some soul ties, some karmic bonds, and spiritual connections that become more noticeable around this time, okay? In addition to that, you may have some messages that travel without words, through intuition, through timing, through synchronicities or sudden clarity, okay? This symbol, Sabian symbol 14 of Gemini, understanding both sides of a situation, receiving the missing piece intuitively, okay? Because Gemini is cerebral, Mercury is cerebral, okay? Think it before you speak it, okay? And so you may realize that you knew something all along. There could be some spiritual or mental alignment that occurs, some hidden communication being revealed. And because this full moon is ruled by Mercury being in Scorpio, this telepathic energy goes deeper with the Scorpionic energy. There's some emotional truths that rise to the surface for some. You see someone's intention without them even saying a word. Your intuition gets the real message, okay? Even if their words don't match. A spiritual or a karmic bond may feel activated or exposed, okay? So this symbol sets the tone for this whole lunation, okay? In addition to that, it's important that we pay attention to the messages that we receive without even speaking. Your intuition is in direct conversation with the truth right now, okay? That is what you need to know. So I brought out the Lovers card in the deck because we're going to have the moon that will be hitting Mars as well as Venus. And I don't think I showed you guys that. So let's see here. Okay. So it's in yellow, the moon. Can y'all see? Okay. So the moon right here is getting ready to hit Venus in Sagittarius. Okay. And Mars in Sagittarius. So this is feminine energy, masculine energy. Okay. This could be externally between you and another person or the duality within oneself, okay? So this is the Modern Witch Tarot deck, Lovers. It is a sacred divine union between yourself or between you and someone else, okay? This is my Light Seers Tarot deck, okay? Lovers, okay? That is Gemini's Major Arcana card in the tarot deck. This is my Deviant Moon Tarot deck. I'm not going to get too deep off into this, okay? There's so much meaning behind the symbolism within this right here. But this is the Lovers. And if you can see the light and the dark, the yin and the yang, okay? A lot of people don't understand the duality within, but we'll keep going. Osiris and Isis, Aset and Asar, okay? So that's my Kemet tarot deck. So the Lovers is very significant. There's an aspect that we will be having that will be involving lovers or choices, shall I say. Okay. So let's go ahead and break down the numerology of the day. Okay. Looking at the day, because the numbers line up perfectly with this energy that we're experiencing. We're looking at December the 4th, 2025, okay? And so when we break that down, let's look at the year 2025. We've been talking about that for a while. That's the year vibration of 9. Endings, closure, karmic cycles that are completing. Let's go to December. 1, 2 is 12. That's the month of December. Breaks down to a 3, okay? So that month vibration, December, that we're in now is a 3. 3 is about communication, expression, truth coming out, okay? Then we look at the day, the universal day. We take 1, 2, 12, 0, 4, the 4th, 2025. Add all that up. That brings us to a 16. To get to the actual number, you deduce it further. 7. I'm a life path 7, okay? 7 means that spiritual insight, intuition, revelation, inner truth, okay? Now, this full moon carries a combined vibration, okay, of 9. A karmic ending, 3. A truth being spoken, 7. A spiritual revelation. And this means that a chapter is closing with that 9. A truth must be acknowledged or communicated with that 3. Your tuition confirms what your mind now understands with that 7, okay? Because you've gone within and you got them downloads from Most High, as above, so below. Nonetheless, let's keep going. The degree. 13 degrees. We're not talking Sabian Symbol now. We're talking 13 degrees, okay? That's when you upgrade to the higher level when you're doing Sabian symbols. But it's coming in at 13 degrees. So we take that 1 at 3. That's 13, right? Divine feminine number. Break it down further, it's 4. Back to stability, foundation, restructuring, and clarity. So this full moon in Gemini is helping you rebuild your mindset, reinforce what's true, stabilize your understanding, release mental confusion or emotional scattering, okay? And so when you look at the Sabian symbol of 14 in the Sabian symbol of Gemini, that breaks down 1 + 4 to a 5. Change, pivot, movement, freedom, breakthrough, okay? So the degree numerology is saying you stabilize your truth with the 4 so you can free yourself mentally and emotionally with the 5. Make sense? Okay. Okay. So when you combine these, a karmic cycle is closing with a 9. A truth must be expressed with the 3. Your intuition reveals what you've known or needed to know with the 7. Your mindset resets with the 4. And your direction changes with the 5. This numerology aligns perfectly with this astrology. This is a truth releasing moon. Let's get deeper, okay? Major aspects that are affecting this, because this moon isn't really standing alone. It's under several powerful aspects that I've shown you guys that is really going to shape the energy, the lessons, and the experience, okay? So first thing is first, full moon opposite the sun, Gemini versus Sagittarius. This is the core of every full moon, okay? There's always a sun opposition, so to speak. So this is nothing new. This is asking you to literally balance, okay? I will say this full moon is much more stronger because of the aspects, okay? Both signs deal with truth. Sagittarius and Gemini, they deal with truth. They deal with information, and they deal with perspective, okay? If you look at the 3rd house and the 9th house, you will know. Higher perspective in the 9th house, communication, truth, they got to know, okay? In the 3rd house. So balance what you know with what you believe. Compare the facts with the bigger picture. See two sides of a story clearly, and step out of assumptions and into clarity. Okay, I'm watching my fire here. Okay, I will, once it gets to the end, I'll let y'all know, so it'll go out. Okay, and we can put whatever manifestation together in the air. Okay, so basically this full moon opposite sun, Gemini versus Sagittarius, this is the mental aha moment, okay? Then we step into the next aspect. This full moon is going to square the nodes of fate. South node in Virgo, north node is in Pisces. And if you don't know the nodes, your south node has been there, done that, where you need to be going away from, letting go of the comfort zone, okay? Take your qualities that you've learned in that energy and take it towards your path, your north node. That is your direction in life, okay? I can get more into that later, but nonetheless, this moon will be squaring the both nodes of fate. So this is a karmic activation point. This aspect is asking you to release an old mental pattern, okay? Break repeating cycles or a cycle. Walk away from old fears, confusion, or avoidance. Move toward a more intuitive, spiritually aligned truth. Make a decision that you can't delay anymore, okay? This is really a turning point. One of those fate steps that you take, this is the moment to do so, okay? Literally, it is one of those turning point moments. So let's go to the next, 3rd aspect. This moon, well, not so much this aspect. I want to talk about the ruler of this lunation. Mercury rules Gemini. Where is Gemini? Where is Mercury? Mercury is in Scorpio. So this colors this full moon with this really scorpionic depth, okay? And this aspect is asking you to look beneath the surface, be emotionally honest, trust your instincts, stop sugarcoating anything, especially to yourself. That's one thing my clients say. She don't sugarcoat. She cut through. I'm a Libra. I'm going to tell you the truth. It may hurt, but it is the truth, okay? Pay attention to what is not being said. Read the room. Read the energy, okay? Use your intuition. Observe. This is where the hidden information is going to rise to the top. Now, with Mercury opposing Uranus, Scorpio, Taurus energy, fixed energy, baby. This is the shock, the revelation, the unexpected news. So I want y'all to be prepared. That occurs around 7:35. Check your time to know where you are when it's going to be exact. It's going to have an aspect to Uranus. So expect sudden clarity. Stay open to truth that you didn't see coming. Understand that a mental break is actually a breakthrough. Be flexible with plans because things may shift fast. And listen when the universe redirects you, because a redirection is always a protection, okay? This is really the lightning bolt aspect. So you guys really need to be mindful of this here. Then, to soften the blow, we have a grand water trine again. Mercury is in Scorpio. Actually, it went back. My bad. Mercury is in Scorpio. It was retrograde. It's in its post shadow coming out of retrograde. few weeks or days, I think a week or so, it'll go back into direct. Mercury moves fast. But Mercury is in Scorpio and water. Jupiter is in Cancer and water. Saturn and Neptune both is in Pisces and water. So this is divine guidance behind the chaos. Just like the new Scorpio moon, we had the grand trine to help us ease through those traumatic things that we went through. Okay. This one is doing the same. Asking us to trust our intuition, allow emotional clarity to guide mental clarity, lean into spiritual insight, let healing conversations unfold, pay attention to signs, dreams, and synchronicities, because this is the protective, supportive energy that really helps everything click, okay? Now, we ain't done. This moon is opposing Venus and Mars, not a direct but in order, okay? So we call it a loosely aspect. But nonetheless, this moon is opposing Venus and Mars, in which I showed you all that, okay? Now, even though these are kind of wide orbs, you know, they still flavor this moon, okay? These particular aspects, opposition to Venus and Mars, is seeking balance in relationships, understanding your needs versus someone else's needs, getting honest about desire, expectations, and emotional truth. Stop overextending yourself. Pay attention to how communication affects your connections, okay? Most High is asking for a higher level of love. If we get into a partnership, to a friendship, to something we do for work, is it something that you love? Is it someone that you love? You need to make a choice, okay? Because Most High is asking for divine union, and it has to be clean, clear, transparent, and full of openness, okay? And that's why you see so many people breaking up to get back, or breaking up to move on. Either way. Nonetheless, this is where the emotional honesty meets the emotional clarity with this aspect to Venus and Mars. Now, looking at all of that, okay? If you put all of these aspects together, the message is simple. Let the truth land. Let your intuition confirm it. Clear your mind. Speak honesty and allow the truth to shift your direction, okay? Now, let's get into who's going to be most affected by this full moon. This full moon don't hit everybody the same way, okay? Some signs, some degrees, they're going to feel this energy much more personally, okay? So here is how this lunation is going to activate the strongest who this is. All mutable signs, because these are the signs directly involved in this full moon axis, okay? Hey, Monet, sweetie. We have Gemini, Sagittarius, Virgo, and Pisces. If you have your strong placements, your sun, moon, rising in those areas, even the planets that I mentioned, Venus, Mars, Mercury, okay? If you have those planets, mutable signs, Gemini, Sagittarius, Virgo, Pisces, this is impacting you, okay, because the moon is in Gemini, the sun is in Sagittarius, and the nodes of fate, south node Virgo, north node Pisces, all four of those mutable zodiacs are wrapped up in this full moon in Gemini, which is saying these signs sit right on the crossroads of this lunation, okay? So what that means, major turning points, faded conversations, breaking old patterns, decisions that you cannot avoid, okay? When you're dealing with energy that deals with the nodes, north node, south node, the nodes of fate, or Uranus, it's out of our hands. The wheel of fortune is in motion, okay? There's nothing we can do about it, but let it flow. So don't try to control it. Take your hand off the steering wheel, and Most High is going to guide you through. That grand trine is there to support you through all of these shifts. Okay, now, the next thing, if you are a mutable sign, okay, or have heavy mutable planets, placements, this full moon is going to hit home deep, okay? Anyone with planets between 10 degrees and 16 degrees of the mutable signs, like I mentioned, Sag, Virgo, Gemini, Pisces, this full moon is at 13 degrees. And that means people with these planets or angles in that 10 to 16 degree Gemini, 10 to 16 degrees Sagittarius, same with Virgo, same with Pisces, they're going to feel the effect directly and personally. These people may experience a major realization, a shift in direction, a truth being revealed, a relationship or a decision coming to a head, a moment of clarity that changes everything, okay? This full moon lands exactly on those mutable zodiacs charts sensitive point, okay? Now, air signs. Earth signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquariuses, okay? Our sister sign, Gemini, got this full moon. We benefit from that. We are air signs. So all earth signs harmonize with this Gemini energy, okay? So we can expect Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, mental clarity, breakthrough ideas, conversations that open doors, realizations that support decisions, feeling mentally lighter, because earth signs get the mental upgrade side of this lunation. Hey, okay, now I'm a Libra, so heavy Libra energy, but I got heavy Virgo too, so I'm all wrapped up in the thing. Anyway, we're going to go on to people with heavy Scorpio or Taurus placements. Baby, I know you're still feeling it from this new moon that took place a few weeks ago in freaking Scorpio. Well, it ain't done, okay? People with heavy Scorpio or Taurus placements, because Mercury is in Scorpio and that's opposing Uranus and Taurus right now. What this means for you all, Sun, Moon, Rising, okay, or Venus, Mars, or, you know, these other planets, the Mercury, sudden insight. You can expect some unexpected conversations or some emotional truths that are rising, some relationship breakthroughs, some shifts around money, security, or intimacy, okay? That Scorpio Taurus energy who have those large, heavy placements, they're going to feel the shock and the revelation more intensely, okay? Brace yourselves, okay? I want you to brace yourselves for this energy that I'm speaking. Come back, listen to it 3, 4, 5 times, okay? I will have it uploaded to YouTube timestamp. Give me a little time, but nonetheless, until I get 8 more subscribers to my channel, I can't go live. Y'all help me out. Ask your cousin to subscribe. Ask your cousin to subscribe. But get me to 8 more on YouTube, Malik's Mystical Magic, and I can go live from there. Let's keep going. People who charts are ruled by Mercury. Your Geminis, your Virgos, okay? Gemini Risings, Virgo Risings. Mercury rules this entire chart, okay? Your entire chart. And Mercury is deeply involved. Mercury rules this full moon. Mercury is currently in Scorpio. Mercury will be opposing Uranus. Mercury is part of this grand trine, okay? So what you can expect, Gemini risings, Virgo risings, some mental transformation, some breakthrough perspective, some nervous system release, some conversations that bring closure or clarity, a shift in how you think, speak, or communicate. For these people, okay, Gemini rising, Virgo rising, the full moon hits the mind and the identity at the same damn time, okay? Now, the most affected, to make it simple, Gemini, Sagittarius, Virgo, Pisces, especially if this your degree of that placement is between 10 degrees and 16 degrees. Anyone with planets at 13 in any sign, Lord, my rising, my sun, my Mercury, my Uranus, all that is hemmed up in this degree here, okay? So if you got any sign that's 13 degrees, give or take a degree or 2 above or below, you're going to feel this. Earth signs, all Geminis, Libra, Aquarius, heavy placements, yep. And Scorpio, Taurus placements, okay, so, I mean, it's a few times we didn't mention, Aries and, we didn't mention Aries, Cancer, Leo, Capricorn, Aquarius. We didn't mention y'all. But y'all still in the mix back in the backdrop, because Saturn just went direct, Capricorn. Okay, Pluto is in Aquarius. Okay, so Jupiter is in Cancer. Okay, so, you know, all of this zodiac's really hemmed up. Nonetheless, these are the people here Gemini, Virgo Risings that are going to feel the biggest shifts, the clearest messages, and the most notable points, turning points, that is, okay? Now, going into how to work with this full moon energy, for you, if you want to, okay, just for me, just a simple example, I burnt a nice little magic stick, okay, and this is for us collectively, but use the color blue, use the color white if you want to tap into this Gemini energy, because Gemini is cerebral, it's mental, it's too intuitive and karmic, which means that the best way to work with this energy is to stay open, stay aware, and stay honest with yourself, okay? Because the Mercury-Uranus influence that we're going to be experiencing, things may come suddenly. So it's important to work with this energy instead of resisting it, okay? Please don't resist, because the harder you resist, the harder it becomes for you. So let it go, let it flow. That's the only way we're going to get through this the best way possible. The resistance is going to cause the turmoil for you, okay? Now, going even further, the practical guidance for navigating this lunation is let the truth come through, okay? Don't force clarity. This moon kind of reveals what you need to know, okay? Not what you're trying to control. So you want to pay attention to conversations, notice the tone, the timing, and the patterns. Let information land without even overthinking it, because the truth is coming. Let it show up for you, okay? Now, write it out. Gemini rules writing, okay? So your mind may feel active or restless. So it's always good to dump that information into a journal. Brain dump your thoughts. You know, maybe you got a friend that don't mind you listening to them. Do that. You know what I'm saying? Write a message that you need to send before actually sending it. Sometimes that's therapeutic when you just get it down and don't hit send. You know, you've released it. Okay? Because this full moon is about releasing. Clarity, that just, you know, clarify your story on paper. You know what I'm saying? What is your story? Put it on paper. Read it. You know what I'm saying? You speaking that out into the universe, because this is going to calm your mind and also organize the insight that you're going to receive. Very important, okay? Now, say what needs to be said as well, because this full moon favors communication. Gemini is about communication. Mercury is the ruler of Gemini, which is the planet of communications. So we need to be having some honest conversations. We need to be clearing some misunderstandings, speaking our truth calmly, and not letting fear or assumptions lead the conversation, okay? Well, so many of us are getting tied up into this because Mercury was in retrograde. So conversation and communication was really not clear. Now Mercury is coming out. Once it's done with its post shadow, it's on and popping, okay? Now, also, you want to say it clearly and not aggressively, okay? That's very, very important. You want to connect the dots instead of ignoring them too, because with Mercury being in Scorpio, take advantage of its energy. Opposing Uranus, those are shock waves, okay? That's when it's going to hit you like, damn, things are adding up. Hidden motives are surfacing, and your intuition is going to reveal the missing pieces. Let it show you, okay? Don't flip out. It's coming. Open your mind to receive, okay? And don't ignore the signs, because this moon is giving confirmation. It's coming and giving receipts. Oh, we gonna be having to watch the news, because some shit gonna pop off. I feel it. Anyway, trust your intuition, because it's grand trine here. Your gut is loud, so your dreams, your signs, your timing, your spiritual nudges, they're gonna be real strong. So listen to your inner guidance. Pay attention to synchronicities. Let emotional clarity guide mental clarity, because your intuition literally is steering you correctly, okay? What I usually do with people is I validate their intuition. It's not making them feel inadequate. It's confirming what they already know. And that's what a sister soul tribe, I mean, that's how I operate. You know what I'm saying? And I do that with others. Hey, validate my intuition. You know, am I feeling this? Yeah, I'm feeling that. You know, own that. You know what I'm saying? So then we want to release old mental stories, because this moon is karmic. It's connecting to South Node, North Node. It is very karmic, okay? And so the nodes are squaring this moon, which is asking you to let go of outdated beliefs, old narratives, repeating mental loops, assumptions, and fears, okay? Release ways of thinking that drains you because your mind wants to shift into a new pattern. Allow it to do so, okay? Dump all that out your brain. Use the right side of your brain. You know what I'm saying? Literally, do a mental dump so that your mind can be able to receive the messages of this moon and Uranus and all this energy is coming. So you want to be flexible because when Uranus is involved, baby, plans may shift suddenly. Information may shock the shit out of you. I'm sorry, but that's just how I am, okay? A truth may really change your direction. Don't resist it because this isn't chaos. This is what you call realignment, okay? When Most High shifts the course, it's because you weren't meant to be on that course. Honor it, trust it, believe it, and just flow with it, okay? Realignment. Now, let's get into this emotional honesty here. With Venus and Mars in the mix, okay? Like I mentioned, with the lovers, okay? Venus and Mars, you know, the lovers, okay? Now, this could be a choice. This could be a soulmate, you know, and they don't always have to involve intimacy. This could be a best friend. This could be a soul tribe member. You know what I'm saying? This could be a JOB or what have you. But nonetheless, with this Venus and Mars in the mix, we do not want to avoid any conversations. We don't want to downplay our needs. Okay? We don't want to pretend that we're okay when we're not. And we do not want to hold back our truth out of fear of somebody's reaction. Okay? That's very important because this moon is going to reward honesty and it's also going to punish avoidance. Hear me when I tell you, this moon is going to honor honesty and it's going to punish those who are avoidant of it. You see how we being really cleaned out? Okay? Most High ain't playing. Okay? So we all going through a purge. Okay? Now, use this moon as a reset point because it's the final mental purge before 2026 shifts begin. So you want to ask yourself, what needs to end? What truth do I need to accept? What mental or emotional chapter am I closing? Okay? And do that. What direction am I moving toward? Because this moon is going to reset your thinking so that your decisions can finally align. Okay? Now, with that said, let me take a breather. Let me take a sip and let's dip into these rising signs. And I'm going to go right on in. I ain't stopping. Okay? And we're going to be done with this thing. So those who do not know their rising sign, you can go to astro.com. You need your date of birth, your exact time of birth, as well as the city and state that you were born in. You can get your natal chart from astro.com free, okay? Print that because that's always going to be your natal chart. Apply the transits as well, and then you'll see where these planets that are in the sky, how they're showing up in your natal chart, and that'll give you a little bit. Now, if you need guidance, you know, I post my service on all my social medias. So y'all know how to get at me if you need. Okay, so with that said, let's get into it. Okay, so this guidance here, when you guys take advantage of this full moon lunation, should you decide to write a letter, speak out, you know, dump your information in a journal or what have you, it's going to prepare your mind, your intuition, and your emotional clarity, you know, for this here, okay? So let's get into this so we can see exactly what area of life that this is going to hit each sign. Do take notice that this may resonate with you in your sun sign, your moon sign, okay? But I'm looking at Aries Rising or the rising signs. But I have seen it play out in my sun, moon as well at certain times. But your natal chart is going to be your main indicator, okay? So you want to focus on the house. So if I tell you the house, then it should be that house. And if you need help, hey, I'm available. So let's get into it. Aries Rising. We're going to see how this full moon is going to impact you. This is happening in your third house, Gemini, 13 degrees, okay? This is the house of communication, conversations, information, mindset, siblings, neighbors, writing, devices, daily environment. So this full moon is going to shine a light on your communication sector. So there may be a conversation, a message, or a piece of information that reaches a peak, okay, full moon, okay. Your thinking shifts, your truth lands, or a truth lands, a perspective changes. And this is the moment where the story becomes clear. And in that energy, you may experience a revealing conversation, important news or paperwork, a breakthrough around how you communicate, clarity with a sibling or a close friend, a shift in your daily mental environment, because this is a mental reset for you, Aries Rising, okay? Now, when we look at the Sun, Venus, Mars opposing the Sun, Venus, Mars opposing this full moon. This is occurring in your freaking ninth house, your Sagittarius house, okay? It is the third house versus the ninth house axis for you, because your thoughts versus your beliefs is going to be on the table, your daily reality versus your bigger truth. So this opposition is going to ask you, Aries Rising, are you aligning with what you say and what you truly believe? Are you reevaluating a belief system or a perspective? Are you making decisions about travel, learning, or legal matters? Are you seeing the bigger picture behind incoming information? You may even face the truth, even if it challenges your worldview, okay? So this opposition is asking you those things because something in the outside world, where it be education, travel, philosophy, truth, spirituality, is going to push you to rethink how you think. Okay, now this full moon is squaring the nose of fate for you, Aries Rising, occurring in your 12th house of Pisces, your 6th house of Virgo. When I say the zodiac, it's their house. The 6th house is Virgo's house. Now in your natal chart, it might be a different zodiac there, but the house themes do not ever change. So for you, Aries Rising, this full moon squaring the nose of fate, this is going to activate the karmic axis of health, sacrifice, rest, and service, okay? And so for Aries Rising, Pisces North Node is in your 12th house, Virgo South Node is in your 6th house. And this is asking you to release overthinking, mental overload, trying to fix everything, anxiety loops, hyper productivity, and move toward your North Node, which is spiritual clarity, inner peace, intuitive understanding, letting the unseen guide your next steps, because there's a karmic realization that's going to come through, whether that's coming through rest, solitude, dreams, or intuition. This is the spiritual side of the full moon for you, Aries Rising. Now, with this Mercury being in the 8th house, opposing Uranus in your 2nd house, this is the shock or the breakthrough moment for you. Mercury in Scorpio, 8th house, deep truth, shared resources, intimacy. Uranus and Taurus in your 2nd house, sudden shifts in income, value of self-worth. So for Aries Rising, okay, this could play out as a sudden truth about money, resources, or support, a breakthrough in intimacy or shared finances, an unexpected expense or a revelation, a mental shift around what you truly value, a hidden truth coming to the surface, because this particular aspect is going to push you to redefine your worth and your boundaries, okay? Now, with all that said and done for you, Aries Rising, that soft cushion should be this grand water trine that's affecting your 4th, 8th, and 12th house. You got Jupiter and Cancer in your 4th house, Mercury and Scorpio in your 8th house, Saturn and Neptune and Pisces in your 12th house. And this is forming a triangle of emotional healing. So for Aries Rising, this supports emotional clarity around your home and family, deep psychological insight, healing old patterns, feeling guided spiritually, understanding the root cause of a mental or an emotional cycle, okay? This is the softening that's behind the hard truth for you, Aries Rising, okay? So my overall message for you is pay attention to the conversations and the information that's showing up now. We're already in that energy, okay? They're guiding you, Aries Rising, towards a new belief system, a healed mind, and a deeper sense of truth. So you want to let that old mental pattern fall away. Patterns or pattern fall away, okay? And so for you, literally, this is it. Okay, so with that said, let's go ahead to the next zodiac, and that is Taurus Rising. Let me get the wheel split here. Okay, so Taurus Rising. This here is full moon in Gemini will be your second house at 13 degrees. This is the house of money, self-worth, income, security, possessions, personal value. And so with this full moon in Gemini being in your second house, Taurus Rising, a financial or self-worth truth comes to light. You see what's working. You see what's draining you. You see where your value has not been matched. So you may experience a financial decision or a realization, a shift in income or expenses, a strong need to protect your energy or resources, a clarity moment around who or what is worth your time, okay? Because this moon is asking you to reclaim your value. It's your second house, Taurus Rising. Now, with the Sun, Venus, Mars opposing from the 8th house, this full moon, this is highlighting shared resources, intimacy, debts, emotional ties. So you're seeing how, you know, someone else's energy or support affects your life. What has been emotionally or financially uneven, where you've been giving more than receiving because you're balancing your worth, second house, versus the financial energetic entanglement of the 8th house. So when we look at houses, we always look at the opposite house too, because that has a significant impact as well, that entire axis. So the second house and the 8th house is one axis, okay? So Taurus Rising, this full moon squaring the nose of fate, 11 to the 5th, okay? To the 5th house, 11 to the 5th house. It's about friendships, community ties, long-term goals, emotional desires, and joy. So people and plans that don't align with your worth begin to fall away, Taurus Rising. So you want to expect Mercury. Well, with Mercury being in the 7th, opposing Uranus in the 1st, this is that shocking, sudden revelation that's going to occur in a relationship. So this could bring an unexpected conversation for you, Taurus Rising, a truth someone has been avoiding, a moment where you snap out of an old pattern, a decision that changes the direction, you know, of a partnership. So with this Uranus aspect here, your identity shifts because you can't stay quiet about your worth anymore. Who would do that? Anyway, Taurus Rising, this grand water trine is going to be occurring in your 3rd, 7th, and 11th house. So it's going to support you through honest conversations, emotional clarity with others, community or friend group alignment, okay? Because someone's words is going to bring some healing, or a connection is going to reveal its true purpose for you, okay? So for Taurus Risings, you need to know your worth. You need to say your worth. You need to align with the relationships and resources with your true value, not your old habits, okay? So let's get into the Gemini Rising, which is the cream de la cream of this lunation. This is your moon, okay, Gemini, occurring in your 1st house for Gemini Risings, that is. Now, this is the house of identity, self-expression, direction, body, confidence. And the full moon being in your 1st house, Gemini Rising, this is yours. So you may experience a shift in your identity, self-expression, what you want, how you show up, what you tolerate, what direction feels right for you. Okay, you may have a breakthrough around who you are now and not who you were. Okay, the Sun, Venus, Mars opposition is occurring in your 7th house. So a relationship, a partnership reflects your truth back to you. So you see clearly now, and in this energy, okay, you're going to see very clearly now what you want in a connection, what no longer is aligned with you, who supports your growth, and who stands in your way, okay? Because partnership dynamics is going to reach some clarity for you, Gemini Rising. Now, this full moon squaring the nose of fate is happening in your 10th house and your 4th house, okay? So expect fated shifts in career, public image, home, family roles. This full moon is going to push you to choose the path that honors your evolution, the path that honors your evolution, and it's fated. Okay, then let's get into the shocker. Mercury opposing Uranus. This is your 6th and 12th house, Gemini rising. So there could be some sudden clarity around health, okay, work, stress, hidden worries, nervous system, a truth you sensed but couldn't name. Because something behind the scenes become too loud for you to ignore, Gemini rising. Now, to help cushion this for you, this grand water trine is occurring in your 2nd, 6th, and 10th house. So you're going to get some support in your work-life balance, your career purpose, or building a stable foundation, okay? You're going to feel spiritually guided toward the life that fits who you are becoming. Love it, love it, love it, okay? So Gemini risings, this is your reset moment. Be who you actually are now, okay? And the rest is going to reorganize around you. Stand in the room and let everything settle around you, Gemini rising, okay? So with that said, woosah. Let's get into, okay, my candle, look. It's almost done, okay? Keep it here. Okay, let's get into Cancer risings. Cancer risings, this full moon is occurring in your 12th house. This is the house of rest, healing, endings, subconscious, intuition, hidden matters. So this full moon in Gemini occurring in your 12th house, there's some deep emotional or spiritual release that needs to take control, or, you know, Lord Jesus, Mercury is messing with me. But nonetheless, for you, Cancer risings, okay? This is a deep emotional or spiritual release. So this moon is going to bring a purge, a realization, a subconscious truth, a hidden matter that comes to the surface, release of fear, grief, guilt, or emotional weight, because your spirit is speaking louder than your mind right now, Cancer risings, okay? Then with this Sun, Venus, Mars aspect that's occurring in your 6th house, it's about your health, your work, and your routines that are going to be affected. So you may see how exhaustion has been building in your body, where you need rest, where you need to set some boundaries, what habits need to shift, okay? Cancer risings. So your body mirrors your emotional truths. You need to make sure that you're paying attention to your health. Now, when this full moon square the nose of faith, that is your 9th and your 3rd house, there's a spiritual revelation that occurs where you may have a change in your beliefs, your mindset, your daily thinking patterns. A karmic shift is going to release some old mental scripts for you, Cancer rising. Now, with this aspect to Mercury opposing Uranus, your 5th and your 11th house, there's going to be some surprise developments in love, friendships, children, future plan. Okay, look at the 5th house and 11th house things, because there's an emotional truth that's going to hit suddenly for you, Cancer risings, okay? And then to cushion it for you with this grand water trine, this is occurring in your 1st, 5th, and 9th house. So you're held by intuition, creativity, self-love, and spiritual insight. So your healing is guided and protected. Okay, so what you want to do, Cancer risings, you want to release what your soul has been really carrying, because your peace matters more than your productivity. Okay, and I know every Cancer can resonate with that right there. It is important for you to pay attention to that. Okay, now let's get into that Leo energy. Leo risings, this full moon in Gemini is occurring in your 11th house. This is your house of friendships, community, goals, network, social media, future vision. Okay, and with this moon being in your 11th house, there could be a shift around friend groups, alliances, social dynamics, online presence, long-term dreams, because you see clearly who aligns with your future and who doesn't. Okay, so that's going to be very clear for you. I like. Now then you have the Sun, Venus, Mars aspect that this full moon is making, and that's in your 5th house. Okay, love, joy, and pleasure, that's going to come into play. So you may see which friendships support your joy, which one drains you. Okay, what creative or romantic goals still matter for you, and what no longer fits your heart. Because relationships are going to reflect your authentic happiness. Okay, now when this moon here square the nose of faith, that is in your 8th and 2nd house. Ooh, Taurus and Scorpio's house. So there's a karmic truth around energy exchange, trust, shared resources, emotional vulnerability. There are going to be some connections that deepen and others that break for you Leo risings. Now, with this Mercury opposing Uranus, that's your 4th and 10th house. So you may get sudden clarity around home versus work, family versus career, private versus public life, because this is your 4th house, 10th house, okay? This is your home and your job, if you want to look at it that way. This is what happens behind the 4 walls. This is what's publicly exposed in the public in the 10th house. So either way, this is the sudden clarity with Uranus popping off for you. So a truth is going to shift your social landscape, Leo risings. Now, to cushion the blow, okay, the grand water trine is in your 10th house, 4th house, 8th house. So there's some emotional support, okay, that's going to come through ancestral healing with your 12th house. Deep insight and private reflection. Your intuition guides you toward the right people. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So Leo risings, you want to align your community with your heart because your future is going to depend on it. Okay, you want to align your community with your heart because your future is going to depend on it. So let's dip into Virgo risings. Okay, Virgo risings in the building. I know y'all there. This full moon is taking off in your 10th house of career, reputation, your goals, your public image, your life direction. So this full moon in Gemini being in your 10th house, that's a major career or a life direction moment. So this may be a step forward, a shift in your path, a public acknowledgement, a decision about your future, okay? A realization about what you really want to be known for, because your purpose comes into focus during this Gemini full moon, okay? Virgo risings. Now with the Sun, Venus, Mars being in your 4th house, you balance home versus career, private life versus public life, family roles versus personal ambitions. Something at the home is going to influence your direction, okay? This is Virgo risings. Now, with this full moon squaring the nose of fate, this is occurring in your 7th house and your 1st house. So there is a karmic truth in relationships that's going to affect your role, your reputation, and your next chapter. So partnership decisions are going to shape your future. Keep that in mind and know that it's fated because it's dealing with the South Node and the North Node. Now, with this shocking thing with Mercury opposing Uranus, that's your 3rd and your 9th house. So expect a sudden shift in travel, beliefs, legal matters, education, conversations with important people, new information that changes your path because there's a perspective that's going to change everything for you, Virgo rising. Now, to cushion the blow, we have the grand water trine that's occurring in your 11th house, your 3rd house, your 7th house. So you're going to get some support through your allies, through your community, important conversations, some negotiations, and or agreements. And so this is about your network playing a divine role in your support system. So Virgo risings, your path is changing. Okay? Choose the life that aligns with your future and not your past. Okay? Okay. Let's keep going. Libra risings. This full moon is happening in your 9th house. Okay? This is the house of beliefs, higher learning, spirituality, travel, legal matters, worldview. Okay? And so this full moon in Gemini occurring in your 9th house, there's a shift in how you see life, truth, faith, meaning, your direction, your beliefs, okay? A belief or a long-term plan reaches the truth stage, okay? A belief or a long-term plan reaches the truth stage, okay? Now, Libra risings with the Sun, Venus, Mars energy that's occurring with this full moon here, that's occurring in your 3rd house. So your mind, your communication, your daily thinking patterns, they're activated. So you may realize that you're outgrowing an old belief. You need a new direction. A conversation clarifies a deeper truth. A mindset shift is overdue because this is a mental and spiritual upgrade for you Libra risings, okay? And as a Libra rising, yeah, it is occurring. Now, the nose of fate, with this full moon squaring the nose of fate, this is the 6th house and the 12th house. So there is a karmic clearing in health, routines, stress, subconscious fears. Libra Risings, your lifestyle must match your beliefs, okay? Mercury opposing Uranus, that is in your 2nd and 8th house. So you may get some sudden clarity, Libra Risings, around money, shared resources, intimacy, emotional vulnerability, a financial truth. This may push you to rethink your values or your direction, okay? Now, to cushion it for you with this water grand trine, this is occurring in your 10th, 2nd, and 6th houses. So you're going to get support in career decisions, financial stability, health, alignment, balancing purpose and lifestyle. This grand water trine is telling you that you are supported in building a practical foundation for your next chapter. Okay? Libra Risings. In addition to that, you want to, Libra Risings, let your beliefs grow. Your mind is expanding. Let your life expand with it. Okay? Now, Scorpio Risings. I know y'all still feeling that new moon in Scorpio. Baby, I'm feeling it for you. This full moon in Gemini is going to be in your 8th house, the house of Scorpio. Okay? So the themes are there. Intimacy, shared resources, trauma, fear, vulnerability, and endings. So this full moon in Gemini is going to be exact in your 8th house. So this, my grand dog, I'm sorry. Yeah. This is emotional and it's also transformative. So Scorpio Risings, you may face, and transformation for you is nothing. You know what that feels like, okay? But you may face the truth about intimacy, a financial or shared resource situation, a deep emotional pattern, a release of fear, shame, or emotional baggage, a detox of an unhealthy attachment, whether that's a person, place, or a thing, okay? Because this moon digs deep, but it's going to free you, okay? Now, the aspect that this moon is having to the sun, Venus, and Mars, that's occurring in your 2nd house. This is about your self-worth, your money, your stability that's going to come into the picture, okay? And so you're being asked to value yourself. You're being asked to stand firm. Stop overgiving. Stop under-earning. Reclaim your boundaries, because this is the worth versus attachment axis, okay? Pay attention to that. Nodes of fate, okay, that are being squared by this full moon is happening for you, Scorpio Risings, in your 5th and 11th house. So karmic clarity in love, creativity, friendships, future goals, joy versus obligation. That could be themes that you may experience. Something snaps into place emotionally for you with this fated energy with the moon squaring the nodes of fate, okay? Now, Mercury, the blow up or the shocking, unexpected energy, Mercury opposing Uranus, that's your 1st and your 7th house. So you're going to get some sudden realizations around partnerships, relationship patterns, agreements, your identity in connection. You may speak a truth that you've been holding, okay? Let it go, let it flow, okay? You literally need to be your authentic self. Mercury is a planet of communication and information. Uranus is unexpected, so you may get some information about your relationship that sets you free. That's an example, okay? Keep going. Anyway, grand water trine for you, how it's going to support you is in your 9th, 1st, and 5th houses. So you're going to receive support through spiritual insight, love, creativity, emotional expression. You are protected during this emotional breakthrough that you're going to go through, okay? So, Scorpio Risings, I need you to know, what ends now frees your power. What ends now frees your power and literally restores your worth, okay? Scorpio Rising, you need to know that. Now, let's get into Sagittarius Rising. Saggies in the building. Full moon is happening in your 7th house, okay? That's the house of relationships, contracts, commitments, agreements, others, partnership dynamics. So this full moon in Gemini being in your 7th house, a relationship truth surfaces. This may involve a partnership turning point, a commitment or a breaking point, a deep honesty between you and another person, or seeing someone's intentions really clearly, okay? This is relational clarity that you're going to receive with this full moon, Sagittarius risings. Now, with this full moon making aspects to the sun, Venus, and Mars, that's in your first house. You are the focus, okay? So you're going to see what you need, what you want, what you're no longer willing to accept, who aligns with your identity now, because love is going to become more honest for you. Okay, now with this full moon square in the nose of fate, that's occurring in your 4th and your 10th house. So there is a karmic shift around your home, family, stability, career, or your foundation. Okay, so your roots and your relationships are being rewritten. We're talking 4th and 10th house. Your 4 walls, your 4 emotional walls, or your 4 walls. The 4th house is the home, okay? The emotional home and the physical home. 10th house, that's the public. That's your reputation. That's your career. That's your visibility. So definitely Sagittarius rising, all of this is getting ready to be, your roots and your relationships is about to be rewritten, okay? Now, for this Mercury opposing Uranus, that's occurring in your 12th house, 6th house. So you're going to get some sudden insight about health, stress, mental patterns, hidden fears, or work dynamics. But there is a truth that you've been avoiding that's going to surface, okay? 12th house, 6th house. That's your mental and physical house. Mental health, physical health. Be careful, okay? Sagittarius risings. Now, the cushion for you, Grand Water Trine, that's occurring in your 8th house, 12th house, 4th house. So you're going to receive support through emotional healing, spiritual release, family truth, intuitive awareness. This moon is asking you to move emotionally smarter now, okay? And so the overall message for you, Sagittarius, is let relationship truth guide your next move, because you can't go backwards, okay? You cannot go backwards, okay? This is too much Uranus. The North Node, South Node is faded. It's doing it for us. Okay? So, let your relationship truth that is uncovered, that you know, or you'll find out, let it guide your next move. Ain't no going back. Okay? Cappies in the building. Capricorn Risings. Okay? Full moon is happening for you in your 6th house. Your work, your health, routines, habits, the body, the responsibilities, okay? This is happening for you, Capricorn Rising. So this full moon in Gemini in your 6th house, you may see a truth around your health, your stress, your schedule, your work habits, how you've been overgiven, and where you are burnt the hell out, okay? This is a wake-up call for balancing, okay? So you want to make sure that you're paying attention, Cappies, Capricorn Risings, to all of these things, okay? Now, with this aspect to the Sun, Venus, Mars, this is occurring in your 12th house. So your subconscious and your spiritual health, they're real loud right now, okay? And this energy may reveal what your mind has been holding, where avoidance has created stress, where you need rest, what emotional patterns affect your body, because your inner world needs attention. With the Sun, Venus, Mars occurring in your 12th house, Capricorns, okay? Now, the moon is squaring the nodes of fate, North Node, South Node, that's your 3rd house, 9th house. So there's some faded clarity in your thought patterns, your beliefs, your anxiety, or your communication. There's a mental cycle that's going to break for you, okay? Now, if that ain't enough, let's go to the Mercury opposing Uranus. That's your 11th house, 5th house. So you may see some sudden shifts in friendship, love, joy, creativity, children, your social dynamics, okay? Your routines may change because of some unexpected developments that occur in that 5th house and that 11th house. Unexpected with Uranus, information with Mercury, okay? Anyway, we're going to keep going to cushion you, Cappies, Capricorn Risings, this grand water trine is happening in your 7th house, 11th house, 3rd house. So this is good because you're going to get some support through partnerships, community, conversation, someone offering emotional support, okay? That's good. You're not alone in this situation, okay? So Capricorn Risings, your message here for this whole entire energy is your body is speaking, and it's time for you to listen to it and honor your limits. I know you like to go hard and strong. My dad is a Capricorn. My son is a Capricorn. My North Node is a Capricorn. Look, we need to be listening to our bodies because it's time to listen and honor the limits of that, okay? Now, Aquarius Rising, okay? Oh, I'm doing good, girl. Just an hour and a half in this thing. Okay, Aquarius Rising, this full moon in Gemini is happening in your 5th house. So this is the house of love, dating, joy, creativity, children, passion, okay? And so this full moon in Gemini occurring in your 5th house, there's a truth that's going to land in love, romance, creative expression, what makes you happy, your ability to receive joy, because there's a situationship or a creative project that's going to reach some clarity, okay, with this full moon. Now, with this aspect to this moon, the Sun, Venus, Mars, that's all in your 11th house, okay? So your social circles, Aquarius Rising, okay, Sun, Moon, Rising, your social circles and long-term goals is going to influence love and joy, okay? So you're going to see some connections that support your heart. You're going to see which connections that support your heart, okay? It's almost done, y'all. Actually, it's going to go out. Okay. So, anyway, that's the magic stick, okay? So, nonetheless, and speaking of which, let me do this now. And those who come later who see this, go ahead and close your eyes and say to Most High one powerful thing that you need at this moment. Ashe, 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 as above, so below, as within, so without, so mote it be. Okay, Geminis, the magicians, we ain't playing. I forgot to bring the magician out because they are the magician. Okay, now, we also want to make sure, I'm sorry, I did not mean to shade you Aquarius risings, okay? But when it comes to this Sun, Venus, Mars being in your 11th house, you're going to find out which connections support your heart, which don't, okay? Where you've dimmed your joy for others and what dreams or collaborations still matter to you, because your joy must align with your future right now. And with this full moon square in the nose of fate, this is your 2nd and 8th house. So you're going to get some karmic clarity in money, value, worth, trust, or emotional exchange, because love and finance is going to meet the truth with this energy right here, okay? In addition, Mercury, the shocker here. Mercury in the 10th house is opposing your ruling planet, Uranus, in the 4th house. So you may get some sudden insight around your home, your family, your career, your stability, okay? Look back at what happened during the new moon in Gemini, I think May, 6 months ago. What seeds did you plant? Have they come to fruition right now since we're in the full moon of Gemini? Look at that, okay? I take notes, I journal, I go back and I look at the trends, you know, so I'll know what took place. I don't know, it's something astrologers do. But nonetheless, for you, Aquarius rising with this Mercury opposing Uranus, there's definitely going to be a revelation that shifts your emotional landscape, okay? So, for you, the cushion, grand water trine, it's going to occur 6th house, 10th house, 2nd house. So you're going to get some support through work, your purpose, your money, your health, and your alignment in health, because this joy that you're going to get here is going to become grounded and supportive to you, okay? Now, getting on to your overall message, Aquarius rising, this new moon and all of these aspects is asking you to choose love, joy, and creativity that chooses you back. Okay, don't force nothing, don't force nobody, okay? Someone's trash is another one's treasure, okay? So you're going to be able to see clearly how to choose the right love, joy, or creativity, because it's going to choose you back, okay? What you missed the whole dang on thing, sis. Go back and replay. Cappy, I just finished you. And you, okay, anyway, I love you. Okay, so let's wrap this up, y'all. I'm trying to, let the magic stick go out, okay? And so, Pisces Rising, last zodiac. This full moon in Gemini is occurring in your 4th house, the house of home, family, roots, emotional foundation, and private life. So this full moon in Gemini there's going to be a truth that's going to emerge in your family, in your home, in your living situation, your emotional roots, or your childhood patterns, okay? Maybe your need for safety and stability as well. But something is going to click about what or who you need to feel secure. Listen to me now. Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising. Something is going to click about what or who that you need to feel secure. Now, with this moon making an aspect to the sun, Venus, and Mars, that's in your 10th house, around your career, your public image, your roles that are demanding your attention. So you may see where work versus home is out of alignment, okay, imbalanced. How external pressure affects your inner world. What direction you want to go in life. Because balance is going to become non-negotiable for you, Pisces Rising, okay? I love you, Coretta. You sent 20 stars. Shit, I ain't never received no stars on this app. Okay, thank you, baby. I love you. Okay, so anyway, this full moon is squaring the nose of fate for you, Pisces Rising. This is your 1st and your 7th house. So there is some fated clarity. Fate, nose of fate, that is, around self, identity, partnerships, and boundaries. Your relationships is going to influence the changes that are happening at the crib, okay? That are happening at home. So understand that. Now let's go to the Uranus here, because Mercury opposing Uranus for you, that's in your 9th and your 3rd house. So you're going to get some sudden insight through a conversation, travel, learning, news, legal matters, a perspective shift. There's a truth shift that's coming, okay? That's going to really shift your emotional foundation. Here you go. Ashe. Okay? Okay? Let the magic stick burn clean, didn't drip. Okay. Anyway, so for you, Pisces Rising, to cushion all of this change that you are going to be experiencing, no one is exempt. Some may feel it stronger than others, but nonetheless, it's all in the video where I talked about how to find out if it's directly on you and everything. But nonetheless, this grand water trine for you, Pisces Rising, is affecting your 5th house, 9th house, 1st house. So this is the support that you're getting. And it's going to come through creativity, spiritual guidance, emotional releasing, heart-centered decisions. Your intuition is really leading the way for you, okay? I like that, because there are a lot of Pisces risings that I know that need help, okay, with boundaries, okay? But nonetheless, your intuition finally is kicking in and going to lead the way for some of you, okay? Some of us are already there with the Pisces energy. But nonetheless, the overall message, no shade, okay? No shade, okay? But the overall message for you, Pisces Rising, is choose the home, choose the peace, and the foundation that supports your becoming, okay? Stop playing with things, people, places, patterns that ain't giving you what you need, okay? Anyway, so that's what I got, okay? Now, as I close this off, I'm so happy that you guys came through. I want you to make sure that you take advantage of this lunation, because this is going to be one for the books, just like the one in Scorpio was one for the books, okay? So this full moon in Gemini is reminding us that clarity is a blessing, okay? I love clarity. You tell me the truth, I could operate better. If you lie to me, we got a problem. You know what I'm saying? I don't care how much the truth hurts. I operate in truth. So this moon is bringing us that clarity, which is a blessing, even when it's uncomfortable at first. Okay, it may be uncomfortable, but that truth is going to set you free. Let that truth guide you. Okay, let your intuition confirm it and allow your mind to step into the version of you that can finally move forward now that you know the truth. Okay, and with that said, let's end it with an affirmation. Okay, and that is, I honor the truth, I trust my intuition, and I move forward with total clarity. Okay, as above, so below, as within, so without, so mote it be. Ashe, ashe, and ashe. Okay, so let me get a few Toon In decks. Okay, because you know Geminis love that comedy. They love to laugh. So I want to tune it in with the Ghetto Nun, okay, tarot deck, and pull 3 messages, okay. Talking to the moon. What is it that the collective needs to know, Spirit, at this time? For this, okay, for this, that was Beyonce, okay, for this full moon in Gemini. What does the collective need to know at this time? Thank you, Spirit. Okay. So this is, y'all know this movie, The Breakfast Club, right? Okay. So on here, it talks about the Breakfast Club, detention, athlete, criminal. Okay. Princess, brain. So we know that Gemini is the cerebral, okay? So we need to use our brains, okay? What's a friend anyway? And then kids and teens and basket case. Spirit ain't playing with me. Okay, okay. So we got Breakfast Club. Then we got Drake. Okay. And you know I got you, Coretta. All you got to do is hit me up, girl. Okay. I'm only a text away. Now, Drake is about night owl, do not disturb, luxury, ladies, man, the finer things, October's very own. Thank me later, top 5, lover boy, champagne. So we need to watch out for them jerks, them cheaters, them manipulators, them narcissists, okay? Them perverts, them pedophiles. We need to watch out for them because they lurking. No shade, Drake, but anyway. All right. And then training day, baby, okay? Training day. So I'm sure something is going to resonate with somebody, okay? But nonetheless, training day is about narc, ops, premonition, okay? Premonition, promotions, survive, getting surgical with this, okay? Ambush, two-faced, Gemini, okay? They can be two-faced, okay? So it's 2 of them, okay? And then, you know, Pisces is 2 of them too, okay? So you might find out somebody ain't your friend and you might get set up, okay? Rico is out here, so for those that's in that, but we dealing with a good cop and a bad cop. We got some duality here, so you need to use not only the left side of your brain, but the right side of your brain, okay? Anyway, that's it. Bottom of the deck is Boys in the Hood. Boys in the Hood, yeah. Okay, this is life lessons, lack, death, transition, poverty, vengeance, childhood friends, tempers that flare and uncertain. And I'm going to tell you right now, the energy that we see in these streets is just beyond me. So we need to keep our head on swivel, okay? We need to stay protected, stay prayed up, okay? And y'all know how to reach me. I appreciate y'all coming out and sharing this message with me. And let me go on and handle the things that I need to handle. I'll be back out when there's another big shift. But one more thing before I let y'all go. Saturn is direct now, okay? Don't y'all feel a sense of ease and getting that good karma or that bad karma or whatever, you know? Y'all, how y'all feel about that? I love the fact that Saturn is direct, okay? Because it's time to get things going. But nonetheless, I ain't finna mess with y'all. I'm in a petty moment right now, okay? But y'all have a good lunation. You reach me if you need a reading, astrology, tarot. I love y'all. Thank you for always being there for me, cuz. And love and light. See y'all next time. Bye.